What's your assessment of the because the things are developing quite thick and fast? Trump says that Iran has the plan to carry out 800 execution after pressure from United States. What's the ground reality? How do you the situation?
I think the most significant interpretation of what has happened in Iran is, and I think this is becoming a bit of a pattern, because the so-called Donroe doctrine, you remember the Monroe doctrine by which America had claimed the rights to its to look after the whole of Latin America. And this, of course, President Trump has extended to those areas where he claims that American interest is more important than the international order, which includes Greenland, which includes a bid for Canada even. I think the Donroe doctrine is faltering because it is facing a reality check from the rest of the world. In the process, what America has achieved is that it has begun the process, if not more, of having alienated itself from its friends, Europe. In Iran, we can just measure the reality check by an assessment of the statements that have been made by President Trump. It began with an immediate virtual announcement that an attack was on its way, had been virtually ordered. Within 48 hours, we hear a completely different narrative. Americans are actually leaving a very important base in that area. There has been no attack. The reality check has come from the President's allies. Even, I believe, the Prime Minister of Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu, has also indicated or told Washington that an attack on Iran would be counterproductive. Because who will bear the brunt of the reaction? The brunt of the reaction will be borne by Israel, will be borne by American allies in the region, by countries which have provided a home for American bases, whether it is Qatar or whether it is, because Iranian missiles are quite accurate, as the Houthis have indicated. And if they hit American bases, the situation can go very quickly out of complete control. Once you light a match on the tinder box, and once you light a match on this collection of explosives that are sitting in West Asia, that explosion will have completely, it can even be unbelievable consequences. Never forget that Israel is a nuclear country. What happens if a missile hits its base? Right? Nothing can be ruled out. And therefore, that is why I think America's allies have advised a great deal of caution. We also know by now, although this has not been made public, and I believe that there has been a dialogue between America and perhaps Steve Witkoff, President's personal emissary. And therefore, when President Trump claims that it is because of his intervention that Iran has stopped executions, well, when was this assurance given by Iran? It could only have been through a dialogue, which was not advertised. Therefore, implicitly and explicitly, a great deal is being known. And I think the Iranians also, we should never underestimate them. However much pressure the regime might be under, it has learnt historically to play a game of aggression and diplomacy in a very careful and measured steps. And we are seeing that once again.